Good morning, almost afternoon on the West Coast, U.S. This is a reading, 4 quarters, first, second, third, fourth quarter of 2024 for Hakeem Jeffries, Minority Leader of the U.S. House of Representatives. Just as a quick note, I see these readings as the energetic trends, pathways, possible choices, but somebody has the free will, or other people have free will to change where those energetic trends are. And so this is the energetic trends. This is offered for entertainment purposes only. And we'll look at it for fun. I wanted to do this one in contrast to the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, just to see. From Mike Johnson's reading, given the current trend, it would look like he would stay through at least fourth quarter. It looked like a replacement in fourth quarter, but that could be the election. So here we go. I have to say I have a great deal of respect for Hakeem Jeffries, but I don't envy anybody who has to deal with the current drama and energy of what they are currently facing. I think that takes an enormous amount of patience, and I wish them all the best. So Hakeem Jeffries, can't promise you next year is going to get any better. It just didn't look like from the other side of this coin that they could do much to make it worse, but I'm sure it's the day-to-day grind. Alrighty, here we go. So I've got the worry doll for Hakeem Jeffries, and I'll put in a couple of all right, Hakeem Jeffries, first quarter 2024. What do we have to see here? Just to start off with, sometimes I'll start talking about the thing that first calls my attention. And here's a little shield here. In a reading, when it has to do with personal reading, outside the circle, you usually don't read it unless it calls your attention to it. In the political readings, I find outside the circle means international. In this reading, I believe he receives, I would say, spiritual protection or allies. He has protection. Yes, I get that. He has protection from outside allies. I'm not saying international. All right, so, okay. So even if he is not the speaker, look at his platform of power. It's right in Earth, almost in the center, but not quite. He holds an enormous power within the house and what happens. I think this is because he can hold the caucus together and his own caucus together, and because of the issues on the other side. So he has a big impact. So one hand's on the platform of power, which is his own group. And his other hand is his right hand is in the elephant ring. And I would say that represents here the GOP. So he has one hand on his own caucus, the other hand on his right hand into 2 shells up, 2 shells down, trying to impact the decision making of the GOP. And the shells are down, meaning that it's not so easy to impact. And so that's his job, which really describes his job. And then his third, here's the relationship ring, and it's right touching home, it's touching mineral, I think it's touching fire. It has the subspace portal here coming out of it. It has the water tourmaline crystal, which means balance. He has a very supportive, powerful wife who I think is, with the subspace portal, I think she's psychic, or helpful in that, intuitive, maybe the word would be intuitive, and gives him insight as an important ally. So he has a very supportive person, romantic person in his life that gives him guidance and insight. The Firestone is here in mineral touching water. So if the Firestone is in water, it's lack of focus, clarity, clear vision. If it's in mineral, it's about story. It can mean, in a personal reading, communication from the other side, open communication with the ancestors. Here there's a key and a wedame. So what he's trying to do is deal with the wedame element, which is has played this stone has played the role for the Maga, and deal with their different groups. And here's the sacred value stick. He's trying to use to do the right thing and make it have an impact or influence and communicate with both what issues they have that are expressed and unexpressed, in order to probably behind the scenes impact the decision making of the GOP conference. And here's the blue water, getting consensus. And then here's the snake bone here. I didn't see the other snake bone. You read them as a pair. Oh, here's the other one over here in nature. So when we get over to here, this might talk about what decision he's trying to bring about. So he really is effectively in charge of getting decision. Now this little hatchet here, I don't know what that means. And it's right next to the hummingbird. I think it could be the sharpening of the axe in the messaging. That in order to get decision, they have to be very careful in the agreement they use and the tools. And they need to use sharp tools in order to work with this group. I would probably just say they don't want mixed messaging from their caucus. They have to deal with their caucus very united as a one tool. In order to deal with the level of division in that caucus, they have to deal with their own. And here's a bridge from the water into earth. It's on top of a coin on top of, there's a coin on top of an open shell and a bridge. So when you have a shell on top of a coin, that means that's benefits and things that you can, resources that you are available to you now. He is able to effectively use this bridging effect, bridging between agreement and bridging between bringing those agreements in. The deep water is over here. And it's right between mineral and fire. And the snake stone is on top of it. And the mineral stone is here, almost touching mineral, fire, but more in earth. I think front and center to the money raising will be about the woman's right to get health care, and I'll put it like that, a right to be able to get unimpeded, not state-controlled advice and from her doctor, and that this is, the money is coming into the Democratic caucus over that issue, and they're effectively raising funds on that issue. I think he is also effectively using the story. He is, of course, in the position that he's in, has access to secret government. He sees, I see this, I wasn't sure what this was at first. This is sunshine. This is the sun and it's down. This is the turtle and it's upside down. And I wasn't sure how to read a turtle upside down. But I think this is, he has an understanding of the secrets of basically what the weak parts of the United States are right now, what we have exposed in terms of our secrets and the story of what currently is exposed that's not known, that requires an extra level of protection for him. And likely also his wife, his family. The earth stone is here in nature, next to this cube, which can mean an organization. This is the earth stone here refers to earth here, and it can refer to your family, your body, your physical home. I think this refers to, because it's political, is the house. I think again that he has really more than minority control of the house, although his genie ring here is the shell is down. So he has to work through, in order to bring creative results, he has to work through somebody that doesn't want to work with him. But he has a way of bringing in allies, and is a vision for, this is the summoning the mountain of your greatness. He has a vision for how to basically bring about, to climb the mountain of his greatness, to bring about the vision, except it's surrounded by down shells, which could be protection too. But he continues to work towards this vision, even in the limited role that he is in. I think he has knowledge. This is a little piece of wood that to me can mean papers and indictments. And here's the little Monopoly house turned upside down. I think there are indictments that are going to turn the house upside down that he probably has knowledge of in a transformational way. Here's the peace sign and the angel. I think he has an understanding or knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes. He has the insight and sacred wisdom, but he tries to hide, to a certain degree, his real agenda. He operates with sacred values, he operates with sacred wisdom, but he has organized behind that almost a protected agenda And I don't know that they always know what he has up his sleeve. Put it that way, that's what comes to me. So I would say from this reading that Hakeem Jeffries is using his wisdom, his values, and his but hiding his cards and using a united force of his caucus, and has protection and is looking out for the interests of the country all at the same time, and really has a foresight into what's coming within this year. And he's doing his best to impact the decision making of the GOP, and is bringing about by agreement, by turning his whole caucus into a single tool that will help execute their agenda. And it's not always like he shows all his cards either, but he is, I think, going to be very effective at managing things from a secondary position. Just put it that way. Which is, from my perspective, very helpful. All right, let's so there's the basic ones that I always leave in, although there are times I do a thinned down version. And then I select from either some story cubes or number cubes, and then I have all of this right here. And I just do it by, sometimes I close my eyes, I grab something, sometimes I consciously grab something, and sometimes I don't put anything in. Okay, here we are, quarter two, April, May, June. Hakeem Jeffries, what do we want to see? What's going on with you? Wow. I love doing this. It's always so fun, especially when I see interesting things. Essentially, in the second quarter, he makes peace with the other side. Here's the peace ring, bringing together, and he is in Earth, and his platform of power is in Earth. So it almost looks like he's effectively running things. But I don't know that that's not from a secondary position. It's hard to tell because there's the energy of you're running things and there's the title of you're running things. And in this situation, I don't know that they go together. But it could be that he's more effective as the moon or like a secondary position. Okay, Firestone in Mineral again. This is working at communication. This is bringing about agreement or changing people's mind. Here's the braided ring. I think here means bringing together people, bringing together wisdom, speaking. This has a transformational vision effect. See how well it goes? It's almost, I think they really get something done. They bring something home, so to speak, on this quarter. maybe legislation. I think they actually get something done. Here's 2 shells right here. He does a deal, and where they get agreement, or they get acquiescence, or they get a few votes. Yeah, he gets some big deal. Earth and fire, new vision for the home, something transforms. The elephant ring with the shell in it and up, receptive to some idea that's done. The genie ring here, this is all about basically a creative solution, that it's almost genie-like to get done what he did. They bring together this line or pathway of agreement and doing the right thing through into story. It could be about, the issue could be about turning water on. Here's a little faucet whereby it pours there, something, a repeating cycle of money. So it could be funding or additional funding for something that is needed. And this new vision for the home, I think possibly in how they do. There still is a great deal of, even though you get this big agreement that probably is related to funding something, there is still a lot of chaos. And he really takes control of this to bring peace and gets this deal. There still is a lot of magic, transformation, that's all nature energy, change. Look at this whole pile of energy here. You have the mineral stone here. The nature stone refers over here. You've got the hands, both hands. You've got the ally. You've got gold here. The mountain stone, this stone, decision stone. I'm not sure what this is about, but something, he gets something through, or there's a story of a change of heart, maybe related to money. So but he reaches some pinnacle with whatever all this nature energy is. He gets a decision to reach a pinnacle. Sometimes I've had quite a few years with my person who taught me this, Toby, that I've had many annual readings. And they usually are really right on. The only thing that I find that gets an error is if you assume, when you look at it at the time you do the reading and you assume certain factors that are true that will be going throughout the year, you can overinterpret a message in the reading because you look at it from the standing today. So one of the things I've learned to do the reading is to leave it as open-ended as possible. Something happens that causes a great deal, stirs up a great deal, but in the end, I think it works out. But I don't know what this stir up of energy is. And but there's a lion there, there's money there, there's 2. There's the heart representing agreement. The heart is raised up on shells. There's the mineral stone here that's important. There's both hands here. There's the cube stone that can mean body organization or something related to that. There's the decision. There's the mountain stone. There's so much energy going on in this. So I don't know what it's about. It doesn't indicate to me what it is exactly, but something, a big deal goes on, other than, I don't know if this contributes to this all over agreement here of when he gets the agreement about money, that this is predicated by an event that somehow unites people in its story. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I'll take a picture. All right, so now we are at third quarter, Hakeem Jeffries. I don't think we need, oh, maybe one thing. Nope, okay. Third quarter, Hakeem Jeffries, here we go. So here is, oh boy. So here is Hakeem Jeffries, the worry doll representing him, right on top of the angel whose face is covered here, or faces down. He's face down on top of the angel. He's bridging between nature and fire with his feet in earth, and the left hand here that he's almost standing on in earth. He does have shell up, and then he has almost this. This originally was the reading stone, and it could be television coverage, because on this it looks, on the other side it's the detailed side up, and this it looks like almost like you're on a screen. There's something that goes on he's very unhappy about, and here's the orc stone here. I think someone dies. I know that's a weird thing to say, and I don't know that exactly, but an ally or friend that's been in power, that's on the platform of power. This is the relationship ring, and these two are read together, and this is the world of the ancestors. And because the other one is in the relationship ring, I believe somebody important in power or a friend of his passes, goes to the world of the ancestors. There is a sadness. This could be unhappy. This could be sadness or mourning. Organizing the sadness or mourning. This could be organizing the memorial or in state, if they were in line in state. I haven't seen this before, so in terms of this pattern, so the only way I will know is by third quarter if this happens. This is a time of secrets coming out. I don't know that he feels like he has the impact in the house as he had before. The third quarter was the start of the Department of Justice, I think, and the last one more impactful. So a lot of it may feel like it's out of his control. Although he still has the platform of power that touches earth. Here's the snake stone, but it's down with the key here. I don't believe he unlocks yet the actual position of platform of power or the power with this. But there is definitely the nature stone is here, the story of Earth. There's something definitely that changes having to do with the GOP and a lot of messages regarding the GOP. So you have all these shells up, story, story, story. I think these were all stories and things coming out. The heart could also be the mourning of somebody. The firestone is in water, which is lack of focus, clarity, or clear vision. The Wedame is here in the deep water, but you have the deep water here, so there could be, with the shell up, there could be things coming out. Here's the candlelight Ashe, so it's really shining a light in the darkness. I think there's a shining a light in the darkness of things. The mineral stone is here in water, deep water, out by itself. This can be flow of gift or the story about, this can be coming out with the story or flow of speaking about things that had been in the dark or the deep or the unconscious realm that's right here in the center. Some of it still remains unseen. There's still like a line. So it could be developing the story or holding this line of what comes out and what doesn't come out. I think he's still very strong in the fundraising realm. The blue water stone is here. The sacred wisdom is here. The blue water could be building of life force energy. It could be things that come out of changes having to do with wisdom. There's an offer by a group of an organization. This is a weird quarter. I would say this could be a greater role, that he plays a greater role in transformation of things, but I don't know what that role is, or works with other groups to create. He offers some kind of stability. Look at the 4 shells here, but they're down. Or he's working with somebody. Difficult to tell, to actually get the theme of what's happening, although I think this quarter he feels more like things are happening to him. He's responding to things rather than and trying to put a face on things, rather than actively getting things done, although I do think he does some fundraising and still stands out as a representative of a place, kind of still on the sidelines, but to manage the chaos or the transition of changes going on. So it doesn't seem like he holds still this platform of power, but it doesn't really seem like he feels like he gets a lot done. It's more in putting a face on things and standing up to what happens, or the changes, the transformation in Earth, whatever the story that's happening that's transformative. It's more like he has to talk about it and put a face on it. That's what I get on that one. Sometimes it's easier to tell at the time when you get there. In a certain degree, this could almost look like he took power or had a power sharing agreement, but I don't really see that on the other side. So maybe that remains in the realm of possibilities because these shells are down. So I think in the third quarter, it is possible that there's a decision that he could be put into power, but it's only in the possible realm. But in any degree, I think that's a rough quarter for a lot of reasons, in a different way than dealing with some of the other things that he deals with in this year. Okay, that's third quarter. But I feel a sadness, like there's a sadness that goes with this quarter. And do one more. Okay, 2024, fourth quarter, Hakeem Jeffries, what's going on? Okay, we still have a lot of nature energy. We have a lot of earth energy. Water right on the spoke. So we'll go step by step. The firestone is right here in nature, which is you're being called to a time of transformation. This is messaging to speak and use the platform of power. This is the like a group or consortium of groups. Oh, wow. This is fascinating. Look at the mineral stone and the earth stone are right together. And the mineral stone is holding up the earth stone, almost like a signboard. And then it's very important because it's right on the spoke. And there's a crystal hachet here, which means balance, and another crystal hachet here. And the hand is here in receptive, right in the middle of earth. And there's 3 shells here. And then there's Ashe, 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 angel, and the mountain. I do see this with the hand here, with him over here. I do believe he will be elected for the next quarter. Now, whether he takes it early, I don't know, but I do think that's what this indicates here. Now, this is very powerful because there is a story of, see if I can get this. Oh, transformation story or gift in communication. This can also mean you work out a conflict with somebody, resolving earth. I think that it could be that there is a deal done for sharing of power, or he takes a bigger role. But this is a story of transformation about the earth, which leads right into home. And the nature stone is here with the money or gold. You have the platform of power right between nature and next to nature and to earth. It could be that he actually either takes power or at least joint power by fourth quarter, or he will be in for the first quarter of 2025 election. The blue water stone is here. This could mean an agreement or a decision for an agreement. sacred wisdom with the hand. There still is a lot of insight into this deep water place. More things are known. This could be some of your wedeme is actually in court. Where's the angel? But I don't see her. Oh, she's right over here. Yeah, there's... It may be that the angel, Department of Justice, like Lady Justice, has an impact on accessing. When you have a shell on top of a coin, it's very good in terms of accessing resources. This is all on the spoke, which means this is very active, some up, some down. So some things are known, some things are not, some things are kept secret. There's a 3 here, and there's also 3 down shells there. He's very much trying to do the right thing and unlock the right thing to do. The wedeme is here, which is right next to this. I think they could have a change of home or status. It could be court, but anyway, I don't think that that's just wishful thinking. It is a given current facts we have on record, it is likely that some of our members of Congress actually stepped out into the insurrection track of things. Insurrection as a description, not necessarily as the crime in and of itself, but there are a lot of crimes constituting that go into doing an insurrection. I think he has it managed. I think this is, you have the right hand here in terms of getting an offer that's through agreement and making a decision, but it's almost like you have the right hand again that talks about this that's in home. And then there's definitely like a nature. When the nature is in earth, it's you're at home with your true nature, but it also means something in your home needs changing. I'll just leave it there. This is the kind of thing that when the facts start rolling out in the year, that having the 4-quarter reading can actually then to look back, if you wanted to look at it following a timeline, are we on this timeline? You can kind of tell we're still in this timeline or energetic track that hasn't significantly shifted because you're in the same issues, or you can see the issues within the reading. And I see that as we go through the next year, it would be interesting to take a look at what happens, and then you can look at this with different eyes. But I would say overall, this is probably a very difficult year for Jeffries, but with looking at this on his current track, he will be very good at managing it and maybe ending up either partially in charge or an agreed in charge, or being in charge before the end of the year, but certainly by the following year. I'll take a picture. All right, thank you.